Hello everyone. We are very Hello everyone. We are very
Hello. More hellos than really needed there, to be honest, but it don't matter, does it? Don't know what that was either. Do you like my top, by the way? I don't really know about the whole sort of politics. I don't know. The whole thing about DB Cooper, but I'd like to think he was still alive somewhere, maybe. Not for robbing a plane, but just for the sheer audacity of parachuting out. Marcelo, good to see you. Hopefully we'll have a few more people in tonight. But to be fair, most of the previews, reviews, and all that other business is already sort of been out there for FSRealistic Plus. I've moved the cameras around, but I have just went a step further and bought a... Well, do you know what? I didn't buy this. We've had this for ages. Look for a reflection in there. You can see what I'm looking on YouTube. Or can you see yourself? Can you see me? That's weird, isn't it? There I am. Yeah, so we've had this, and it's not fast, but I've done a bit of optimization on it, and I want to utilize this in some way for me flight simming, moving maps. I don't know. It's probably going to be moving maps because everything else is really expensive. Air Manager is so expensive. I was looking at that, and I was like, oh, do you know what? I might do. But then it's like, what? Is it like 50 quid for the actual PC program? And then it's another 20 quid for the actual app on the on the tablet. So no, that's a no-go. But no, what I meant to say was I've got some tripod arms. A tripod arm for this to literally sort of hover in front of me, off to the side, and a tripod arm for my second webcam, because it's on a tripod on the windowsill at the minute, and you'll see that in a minute. But it's in a better position to see the yoke. Why does a light keep coming on this yoke? I hate that light. I must admit, the honeycomb yoke on the throttle are bloody amazing, but I don't like the red. I don't like the red light that honeycomb decides to put in the grill. I think the grill looks nice because obviously it's a honeycomb. I fully get that, but I don't know why they put the red light in there, so it's not for me. But you can turn it off. Funnily enough, that was one of my sort of things to actually buy it, was to actually to know if you could turn the light off. So it's off. But it keeps on turning back on. Yeah, so tripod arm for the webcam, which will make it easier for me to sort of move it about and have it in a better position. I'm leaving me PIXY up there because it's the best position. It also hides the lights here because this 9 quid set of LED lights over here. Basically, they don't look nice when you can see sort of underneath the shelf. So anyway, I'm going to turn that onto blue because I can't be. Yeah, I'll just leave it on blue. And I mean, the dream is to have the Govee set up. I've got 2 Govee lights. In fact, let's get the Govee lights on, or not. Thank you, Stream Deck. Hang on, can you actually hear me? Whoa, yeah. Yeah. Where is it? because they do, not that you want to see my face any better, but they do make things a bit brighter. Let's turn those down a bit. Okay, perfect. Right. So, Aerodessa, good to see you, buddy. Really good to see you. As I say, this is purely a bit of flying, a bit of chatting about FSRealistic Plus to begin with. But obviously, with it needing chase plane, we're going to obviously have a look at chase plane. But the idea here is to have a look at FSRealistic Plus, take you through what I think, take you through what you guys might think if you've got it or if you're interested in getting it. I'll try and be as thorough. I know these live streams obviously are long-winded, 2 hours. I try to keep them around 2.5 hours. Some airports, if I'm doing airport sceneries, can obviously be a bit longer, which I understand. It just really depends on the size of the airport, doesn't it, really? So yeah, let's get into it. There's my setup here. I feel a bit more like a bit more fancy with the multiple cameras now. I mean, I've had the multiple cameras for ages, but I do feel fancy. Let's get me on screen there. Perfect. Woo-hoo, look at that. We can just flick between them. Ideally, I'll have all things going on where I can just press buttons and it's a bit easier. But it's a bit of a pain in the bum right now to do all that. But it is what it is. Right, where are we now? Well, we're in Farnborough. We're in Farnborough. The reason why we're in Farnborough is because I don't have any airports in my community folder. If you're on my Discord, guys, I've just wrote a big massive thing out about an issue that I had yesterday, which wasn't great because I knew I was live streaming this week, and I was thinking if I don't get this fixed, then I'm going to have to not do the live streams, because there's absolutely no way I could have done the live streams, because I wouldn't been able to fly any planes at all. So in my community folder right now, folks, is the Breezecraft Baron, the what else have I got? Chase plane and FSRealistic Plus, and something else, an aircraft that I'm doing a video for at the minute, which I can't tell you about. I can't. I'm not allowed. I'm not allowed. It's in there though, and the video's officially finished. Well, it's finished nearly, and I can't wait to share it. And I know there's a couple of other people that can't wait to see it as well. But yeah, we're going to have a fly in the Beechcraft Baron today. FSRealistic Plus is not going to give you specific aircraft sounds. That's one thing to point out. So it doesn't really matter what we're flying in. The reason why there's nothing in my community folder, well, I'm going to go through it anyway. You guys might not be bothered and just want to see the add-on, so maybe just mute it while I talk. But if you are interested, yesterday I got a set of rudder pedals finally. Now, listen, guys, these are the most ancient. They are retro. They are old. They are the CH Pro pedals. Now, online, I looked at these, and people were saying, yeah, they're not at all modern, but they'll last you decades and these centuries. They're very well built, and they are very well built. Now, I managed to get a set of CH pedals. I can't show you they're down there, guys. I managed to get a set of these pedals on eBay from British Heart Foundation, I think it was, for 22 quid. I wouldn't have bid £22. They're in the nicest condition. There's no scuffs. I think there might be a bit of a layer of dust on them. I might need to give them a bit of a wash maybe. But I plugged them in and they just worked. So naturally, obviously, I wanted to see what it was like. And I tell you what, they're nice. They're nice. They really are. They are nice. And they just worked. There was no calibration. I did not need to mess about with anything. They worked. They've got toe brakes. They've got brakes. It's fantastic. Still getting used to them. I still steer the wrong way, but I'm getting used to it. But anyway, I took a flight in the Baron. Very nice. Landed back of Farnborough, and then I jumped into the other aircraft that was in my community folder again, which I can't say, and I couldn't load up. At first, it was a case of it would load into the map, it would load, and it'll get to the ready to fly. I press ready to fly, the whole screen goes black, and it freezes. Then I can hear the aircraft. Then I can see the simulator, and it's running at about 8 FPS. So again, naturally, quit the simulator, thinking, right, it just needs a restart. Because you know what? A lot of times it is the case, isn't it? Get it restarted. Didn't work. So I messed about for a bit. Reinstall. I actually rolled back the NVIDIA drivers because I heard the NVIDIA drive, the latest one, isn't great. I went back into the simulator, and guess what? It let me press ready to start. I was doing the walk around just like this. Frame rate was absolutely spot on. And then I pressed enter aircraft, and then it did the same thing. So it was giving me some false things, and I was like, false hope. I was like, okay, fair enough. Next thing, I moved my whole community folder out of the folder. And wouldn't you know it, absolutely fine. So what's confusing right now is in between flying the Baron, testing the pedals out, between swapping aircraft and coming back in, something in my community folder decided I am not going to work for you. I'm just going to do something to mess your sim up. And that thing was to actually completely freeze and make the sim run like, well, dirt, and it did. So I'm now in the position, guys, right now where I'm doing a few video projects, but I'm also trying to figure out who the culprit is to this, whatever's happened. But I still don't get why it was it let me do the Baron flight and then wouldn't let me after that. So I'm gonna hopefully I'll find out who it is in the next couple of days, and I'll update Discord and let you guys know, because I am curious to see what some random community folder item has essentially done that. So right now I've got no airports really. I've got none of the Orbex scenery for the UK. So we'll have a little fly around. We'll go towards London maybe. I don't know. But yeah, we're going to take a look at FSRealistic Plus. So everything is linked in the description, guys. FSRealistic Plus, you can get it from flights. You can get it from SimMarket Place. Big shout out to SimMarket Place for popping this one into my account for me and supporting the channel as they always do. It is linked in the description. So if you are interested in buying this, please do consider buying it from SimMarket. The caveat here, guys, is you're going to need chase plane. So this is my first negative thing about FSRealistic Plus, is that FSRealistic Pro works. You'll actually hear some of the sounds in there. I'm just going to get out for a second. FSRealistic Pro still works on 2024, and it gives you the sounds and stuff like that, and the cameras without the need of chase plane. FSRealistic Plus does obviously add a lot in. Oh, do you know what? These sounds, man. Let me turn them off. It's like cabin ambience, isn't it? Copy yeah. Perfect. So that only plays when you're on the ground. SimMarket official. There they are. There you go. So right now, guys, I don't have anything set up like hide the toolbar. That's in the community folder. There's also another community folder. If you've got too many toolbar items, it'll just open 2 rows of it as well. So yeah, guys, it needs chase plane. That's my first issue with this. But chase plane's great. Now, chase plane's been on my radar for a while. I was like, no, you know, I don't need it. It's not something I need. But it is now, especially because they work both together. Should you upgrade from? I'm getting straight into it here, by the way. If you've got FSRealistic Pro working on 2024, if you're not too bothered about chase plane, then I would keep Pro. I wouldn't buy FSRealistic Plus knowing that you have to buy Chase Plane and buy Chase Plane just for the sake of it. If you've obviously got Chase Plane, FSRealistic Plus is there, especially if you bought Pro, because you can obviously get the cheaper upgrade price. I think the upgrade price is about 6 to 7, 8 quid. I think it's similar. So, do you know what also is a thing? Sorry, guys. My airport services quantity, airport services variety, why is that being turned on? I don't usually have that, guys. I don't have the cars and stuff going around, especially because there's buses driving around general aviation airports. Sorry, it's just something I noticed in the background. Yeah, so your upgrade price, obviously, if you've got FSRealistic Pro and you've got Chase Plane there, then yeah, it's a bit more of an easy recommendation. If it's something that you want to buy and yeah, don't have FSRealistic Pro anyway, and it's a first time buy, then price for owners is around six. Okay, so a bit cheaper, then maybe a bit cheaper in pounds. But yeah, if you're buying it outright and you don't have Chase Plane, in my opinion, guys, it's a hard sell, because FSRealistic Pro still does a lot of the stuff that you need. The integration, there's another update as well. By the way, this has had updates so often. I'm not going to update it now, but you'll see obviously Chase Plane integration. If you don't have Chase Plane installed, that you won't even get into this. It just says it needs it. That's my personal opinion. I don't think there's enough in here from Pro to Plus that warrants even the upgrade fee, if I'm going to be totally honest. I am very pro devs having upgrade fees for certain things. Most of the time, sceneries, aircraft, and programs do need remaking from the ground up. So I totally get that. I understand that. But when it comes to other things, like it just being a straight up port and not much has been done, only the bare minimum, then yeah, upgrade fees are a bit of a hard sell. This is just my opinion, guys. Others may think FSRealistic Plus is definitely worth the upgrade, or it's definitely worth buying. But the fact that both of these programs, I think, your mid 20s to 30 quid, you're spending nearly £60. For one, you're spending, an extra 30 quid on Chase Plane. Chase Plane's 27 quid. Again, that is linked in the stream description off Parallel 42's website. Chase Plane's fantastic. I will be touching on it because obviously you need it. Obviously you can't use it in avatar mode. I'm just going to get inside the aircraft. I love it. There's a lot to it, by the way, guys. If you're interested in Chase Plane, there is a fair few guides on YouTube already for Chase Plane. As you can see, it's actually in experimental version because it's in 2024. I've not found any sort of issues with it that really sort of become an issue. But what I would say is that, sorry, that was my mum saying my brother had a T-bone steak. They're in Berlin at the minute. It's his second little trip that he's done in the space of like 5 months, and he's really enjoying it. Anyway, yeah, I find no real issues. For me, Chase Plane has been the reason why I bought it wasn't to do with FSRealistic Plus, actually. It's because I've wanted it, but also because of the amount of just views you can have and ways to get into those views. And there's a lot to do. What I would say is, for me personally, it wiped all of the camera views. So that I have on my Xbox controller. The reason why I obviously have Xbox controller to do it is because when I'm making cinematics, the joysticks are invaluable. I could never imagine trying to do any kind of cinematic movements with a keyboard or a mouse. The Xbox controllers with the joysticks are just unmatched, really. But when I'm doing that, still I have to disable chase plane because I haven't been able to bind the drone camera properly. So I can do up and down, left and right. I can't make it go forward for some reason. I can make the camera go forward inside the cockpit. I've binded the controllers to do that. That's absolutely fine, and I've binded it to recenter and stuff like that. There's a lot to do. You have to you can go into preferences and get into the camera movements and start getting all of these preferences binded up to whatever you like, really. Everything comes up on you here. Over to your left, you can actually see CH Pro pedals. You can see Alpha flight control, the Bravo, keyboard, mouse, blah blah blah. There's a lot, guys. There's a lot. Camera actions. Obviously, you can reset camera view, reset orientation, all that business. I haven't got to the external one, so realistically, I could do that right now. Press any button. So my original one was to press the little boxes on the Xbox control. So if I do that and save it, there you go. But obviously I can't go into cockpit, so I'll need to then bind that control again. But for some reason, I can't go back out for some reason, because it's because it's bind to that control. I could do that, but then that's going to do that. So I can't do that. It gives you, you'll see it on the screen, avoid conflicts. It gives you a big guide on sort of clearing all of your your multiple, your conflicting key bindings. What shall I do? What's it going to do if I do that left click? Okay, so maybe I could do left click. I know we're looking at FSRealistic Plus, guys, but at the minute, I can press that to there. If I go into toggle in, potentially do that. I could do that for now. That might work. But I've also got all these binded onto my stream deck as well. So yeah, there's a lot to bind, a lot to yeah, and I haven't done a lot of them. Chase plane features, toggle cinematics, I haven't got one for that. So cinematics is the one I don't use most, because there's no real need for me to do that. If I'm doing my cinematics, I stand by it. I just do the cinematics freehand with the controller. I don't use chase plane for it. But cinematic mode is really nice. It's good for things like this, if you want to sort of fill the void, and you want to if for airline pilots, fantastic, because when you're in cruise and there's not much to do, you could pop this on if you wanted, especially if you're doing some live streams. I think it's a fantastic feature for content creators, and you can just go through them and they'll give you some really, and it's really smooth as well. I haven't really seen it sort of flicker and stutter and stuff, so we can definitely have a look at that once we're in it. FSRealistic Plus, again, you can turn it off and on. You can share profiles. There's profiles already popping up. What I have noticed straight away is these profiles do not remain active. You always have to download them and apply them. They don't persist for some reason. I'm not too sure why. volume and stuff like that. Announce connection is one where you'll hear the lady say, FSRealistic Plus connected. Just like that. Just exactly like that, the way she says it. So you can turn it off if you don't want to hear that. Now, just like SoFly, the aerotone, similar kind of fashion, you can turn things off and on. I haven't found a way to turn it all off. I think possibly you would just turn it off like that. You'd also see the camera shake has gone. So there's a bit of camera shake there. You can, if you have a look towards the dash, you can see it. I only have the original, but it's good for adding turbulence in VR. Yeah. They have just updated chase plane, which I should have done before we come up onto this live stream, guys. They did just update chase plane, and I haven't installed it just yet, only because of all the issues I've been having that I spoke about at the start of the stream. But yeah, there's a little bit of camera sort of motion. You'll see it if you kind of look at the windscreen and kind of look at the dash. You'll see things move, and you can intensify that, or you can just turn everything off. It would be nice if we had a little toggle to say turn all, not so much turn the whole thing off, but turn, you know, select all off, select all on, and then you can start messing with them at your own will. Control lean. In fighter jets, I've noticed, you know, if I turn, actually get the air thing off there. If I turn, you'll see the camera moving. Intensity. You know what I mean? Can reset it. Intensity when we push. Let's have a little look. If we want, you know, put that all the way up like that. Hey, look at that. I am pushing the yoke back and forth, by the way, I assure you. Yeah, you know, you can do that. There's a lot in here. There's a lot. Pedals, I've got the pedals going on. So you might see my legs moving. But yeah, notice there's no animation for the foot brakes there on the Baron for some reason. But yeah, they worked. I didn't even have to calibrate a single thing. They might need a bit of sensitivity messing about with. But rudder has also got it as well. Flick that up a bit and... Yeah, you know, there's a lot to mess about with on both of the apps, guys. Brakes have also got it. Now, there's obviously certain aircraft have got certain amount of downloadable profiles. There's obviously only one right now. Pilot Pete's Perfect Baron. So, you know, you can download that. Again, I really hope this becomes a persistent thing. Unless it is, and I just don't realize, but... For me, when it says download again, it says applied and then it goes back to download, so it doesn't really give you an indication of what exactly, you know, if it is applied. So I'd like to see maybe this say active or, you know, applied or something like that, just to give us a bit more of an idea that indeed is the one that you know is active on there. So saying it's not persistent, it might be. I just, you know, when you download it again, it is there's nothing. It just goes back to download. I don't know about that. Afterburners, well, we don't have afterburners on the Baron. Airflow noise, belly landing, braking, breathing. I mean, I don't know if we've heard it over the cabin ambience, to be fair. Some of these might only be active in the air, you know what I mean? Clear prop, I did actually put that to male. It doesn't really matter, but yeah. So there's what I would say is, that for the most part the sounds are pretty nice, but when we start a flight you'll be able to hear them a bit more. Hopefully that all comes through. If you let me know if you need any more sound, guys, because it's hard for me to really say if the sound comes through a lot. But yeah, so once we get flying we're able to hear more as well. All this again, you know, we'll see. We'll start it. So we've got all the controls here. So we'll start up the Baron. I don't know why it always reverts back to the RPM being open, but we'll have a little look, because some things, the sounds, some motions are not so great. You'll see that in a second. So let's get the battery on. One thing I would love to be able to use is the ignition switch on the yoke just here. Right now, because the Baron's got 2 ignition switches, it will work, but it will fire up both engines at the same time. So not really realistic. Let's get the that did put both of them on there. Let's get the beacon light on. I need to still map some fuel pumps on there as well. Let's get the right one on. Little bit of throttle and
clear prop.
Now that's fine, but look at this. What's this? Granted, I've not been in a Baron. I've been in a PA-28. I don't know how realistic that is, but it kind of does that, and when things settle down, it kind of just abruptly stops like that. Do you know? I don't know if that's supposed to be quite a nice, smoothed out animation. Like we're doing it again now, do you know? Yeah, I'm not overly keen on that particular animation. There's also sound, especially when coming into land on approach, the sounds go a bit muffled. Yeah, there's some things I'm just not overly keen on. But overall, the motion, the camera motion, not so much the sounds, the camera motion is fantastic. But again, that is all down to Chase Plane being installed. Yeah. Perfect. I know there's more to check and more stuff to check when you're starting a Baron up. I totally understand, guys. But let's get the avionics on. Again, I'd really like to be in a position where I can switch all these switches on. There's a good amount of custom switches on the Bravo, but for some reason I just can't get them calibrated. It doesn't just work simply. It's a bit more of a faff to do it. Navigation and strobes. What's happened to my avionics on here? Oh, guys, it's because it's not in the community folder. I apologize. It's not in the community folder. The GTN 750 isn't in the community folder because there's only a couple of things in there. So we're gonna have to make do without, unfortunately. But apart from that, let's get going so you guys can see some things. I've got my parking brake set to the little white button on the left yoke. You can, on this one here, the white button on the right, I've got it as reset camera angle, because I don't want to. The only reason why I need to now touch the Xbox controller now at all is avatar mode, and if I'm doing cinematics and I need the joysticks. That's it really. Let's get out of here. Again, need to remember which. Which pedal it is. I'm going onto the gravel here. But yeah, sticking the right foot down on the pedals. Again, the CH Pro pedals, 22 quid, guys, second hand. I can't quite believe it. You'll start hearing the sounds a lot more as well if I shut up, and the motion a bit more. See, I keep on putting my foot down naturally to the right to turn left for some reason, and I'm not too sure why. There you go. Brakes. The bottom of my heels are killing. I can't quite get used to it. But yeah, now I've got... Not ideal. I do definitely want to upgrade my rudder pedals at some point, but these are going to be fine for now. Bit premature there with the... let's step on the brakes with my toes, which feels great. You can hear, obviously, you'll hear. I'll try and sort of not talk too much, but you'll start hearing differences. Definitely see the differences with the camera. Let's get a notch of flaps down. Flap lever on the Bravo is fantastic as well. And let's try and get used to using the rudder pedals. And we're up already. Gear up. It sounds like that, you know. So, yeah. So yeah. Oh, that's nice. So, I mean, yeah, I apologize if anyone's got headphones on and has got the your volume up, but yeah, you can. Maybe something like that. I don't know. I mean, when you're in a general aviation cockpit and a airliner cockpit, you know, you've got headphones on. You're not going to hear that. Obviously, most of the planes come with, but that isn't going to do anything to the FSRealistic Plus sound. You're just going to hear the engine a bit more and a bit less, the actual default aircraft sounds. Let me know in the comments, or the either way, the live chat or the comments, airflow noise off and on. I think anyone who's flying general aviation in real life could probably tell me a bit better if that's at all realistic. But again, you are wearing headphones, so it might not be something that, unless you take your headphones off, I'm sure people have before, whether you can tell if that's a genuine sound. For light head shake, you can see it is there. But you don't get... let's have a little look. It's very subtle. Very subtle. Like, you know, it's not wild. You don't see it a lot. Have we actually still got chase plane enable? Yeah, we have. It's not as, well, intense as what you would as what it would look, you know what I mean? Maybe it's because it happens when you're in more turbulence. So let's have a little look. Yeah, I mean, you know, it's... It doesn't seem to persist as well. I know obviously we're flying into different conditions, but it doesn't seem to persist a lot as well. Let's get through the clouds. Oh, we've made some let's just aim our nose towards London. And what I would say is, just by the way, guys, completely emptying your community folder really bumps the performance up. I will say that. It might sound absolutely ridiculous for me to say that, because it might sound pretty obvious, but it does. It helps a lot. I just want to know what is the item that is making my sim run like, well, garbage when I've got it all installed, you know. Like I said earlier on, guys, straight off the bat, before we even took off, I did say that, is it worth you buying FSRealistic Plus straight out, you know, just buying it from, this is if you don't have anything. Actually, there's a couple of different caveats. If you've got Chase Plane 2024, but you don't have FSRealistic Plus or Pro, you know, if you don't have anything, then I would say yes. I would say yes. If you've got FSRealistic Pro but haven't got Chase Plane, I would say stick with Chase Plane. I would say stick with FSRealistic Pro. You'll see where this is going, basically. I would say don't go out your way to buy FSRealistic Plus. Aerodessa, I think mine was bigger. I think I'm gonna have to double check. I'll check now for you guys. This is obviously what it's like with without the 4 or 5 different ones I've got in my community folder right now. While that goes up in gigs, I'll let you know what that gets to in a second. But yes, something in there is not liking the sim at the minute. I'm not too sure why. Let's give this a bit more whirly. But yes, FSRealistic Plus for me is a if you've got Chase Plane and you've got FSRealistic Pro, again, it's around 5 to 6 quid, maybe. I'll leave that to you. Don't buy it outright if you've already got Pro, because it's just not, for me. It's again, you know, my opinion. It's just not up there with the major upgrades that we're seeing. Let's Oh, the lights. I'm thinking, why aren't the lights working on me Bravo? Because it needs the configuration file, which again is in the community folder, so I'm not going to see the lights on there. Where are we? Let's get a vertical speed going. And let's just get down below the clouds as much as possible. We go through the clouds. And we get my feet off these pedals, as you can see. Yeah, it's a tricky one. Because I wouldn't go and buy... It's just the thing as well, because I really like chase plane. But if I had no intentions to buying it, and was looking at FSRealistic Plus, I would definitely not go and buy chase plane just to use FSRealistic Plus. But on the other hand, I fully recommend chase plane. So it's one of those, they go together quite well. And I understand why they've done it, but maybe a special price to buy them together would have been a bit more appropriate. You know, not just, you know, you need this, you know, you need this to work, and vice versa, but not vice versa, because obviously chase plane doesn't need FSRealistic Plus. So yeah, there's a lot of different levels to this one. I prefer Pro. I personally haven't seen miles things better, or maybe I'm just not. Maybe I'm just not seeing it. But I think overall, there's still it's been every time I turn the simulator on, there's always an update for FSRealistic Plus, which is great. There's one again. I'm not going to bother doing it now, just for the sake of the stream. I think it's a great program. I can't recommend buying it outright. Obviously, if you've got Pro, FS add-on chasing can be its own hobby, mate. I absolutely agree with you. I absolutely agree. You know, and this is it, isn't it? Getting sort of off topic a slight bit is that the simulator is a hobby, but then you go into all these little tree branches of, you know, the trunk. Yeah, there we go, guys. Get a bit of a visualization. The trunk here, you know, and I've got thick arms, so that looks like that's a nice trunk. That is the simulator, you know, and on all the branches. I'm doing a dance now, look at that. All the branches, you know, you got your hardware. That becomes, you know, a hobby in itself, you know, having all your different bits of hardware. I can absolutely agree to that, because I'm not just content now on having the yoke and the throttle and the pedals. I want to get some kind of surround. There's, like, you know, you can build actual cockpit similar to what you're seeing now. You get kind of this view where you've got all your different dials and your screens, and then, like you said, Belato, you've got all of your different add-ons. You've got people who are more interested in the aircraft and the airports, and vice versa. For me, definitely the airports. I really enjoy getting to these locations and having a look around these airports that I most likely will never ever see in real life. And, you know, and then the add-on, the tools, the optimizers, the you know, your toolbar things, your action replay things. Yeah. there's a lot, and it then starts becoming even more expensive. And then, you know, there's someone who commented on something recently that I seen. It was on one of my videos or something, and they said, you know, You know, when Microsoft's supposed to be adding and continuing to fix airports or add airports, I was like, well, they are doing. You know, they give us, and this is a big thing, guys. We've had a lot of people. I understand people have a complaint and a moan about the simulator not working. Look, it's happening to me at the minute. There's something in my community folder that's doing a number on the simulator. But you have to realize that Microsoft and Asobo are continually updating, they're fixing. They're giving us world updates, they're giving us city updates, they throw in some planes, they, you know, all the special little things like Stranger Things and all that, you know, they're all free, you know what I mean? So they are continuing to add airports, but people need to realize, and this is very important, people need to realize Microsoft for the longest time, the flight simulator, even X-Plane, P3D, they're not going to give you every airport in the world made to the highest standard. They're not going to give you a realistic look in Manchester, Heathrow, and everything in the sim, because, well, what's the gain there? You know, every game developer. Let's take Rockstar, for example. They've absolutely milked GTA 5. They milked on GTA Online. Granted, it's free, but they know that people buying, you know, in-game currency and all that business, they're going to make money. Same as Microsoft, you know. Third parties make money. Third-party stores make their cut. Microsoft are never going to be like, here's the simulator, guys. It's £100 and there's everything you ever need for it. But then there's people who believe that should be the case, or believe that should just be happen, and it's like, well, what happens then? You've got no developers. You've got no third-party developers. You've got nothing there to add on, you know. There's no incentive, is there? It's a bit rainy, isn't it? Let's make it. I've got none of my weather presets. I've got all the ones that I've saved. You know, that's a moody one. Oh. That's why. Even DCS open their closed architecture to third parties. Exactly. Yes, Belaton42, you speak no truer word, my friend. The default airports on X-Plane are miles better. The default airports are just, they look so much better. I was at Liverpool in X-Plane 12 recently, and yeah, obviously when you look at it you can see that it's not Liverpool, but it looks absolutely spot on. It really does for a default airport. Where are we here? Let's have a little look. Where am I? Ah, okay. Did I overfly Heathrow there? I've absolutely overflown London. Jesus Christ. Okay. We missed it when we were going through the clouds. But then again, X-Plane 12's atmospherics and clouds are also way better than Microsoft Flight Simulator. I'm sorry. I have to... and why am I trying to turn this? I've got it on autopilot. But yeah, again, DCS, it's not something I've played. I would never sort of fly military planes, and that's no disrespect to people I've worked with in the past, like obviously Asus Poly, obviously, I fly GA. I don't bother with it. Each sim does some things better than others. Yeah, it does, and there's no point in getting into a whole, you know, this is better than others. You know, Microsoft Flight Simulator, you can't do any kind of VFR flying in X-Plane 12. You could, but it's nowhere near as good as the scenery you're getting in Microsoft Flight Simulator. So yeah. There we go, there's London there. But yeah, let's get back to proceedings. Again, I have not got any of the hide toolbar features going on because everything's in my community folder. If anyone's interested, actually guys, whoever's watching right now, let me know how big your community folder is. I think Aerodessa, you said 222 gigabytes. If you're watching the stream, let me know how big your community folder is right now for either or, Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 and 2024. But if you are watching, you want to get involved in the chat, please let me know how big your community folder is. And please guess how big mine is. Hey. How big my community folder is. I'm gonna have a drink. I think FSRealistic Pro and Plus give a really nice realistic feeling to flying, especially in general aviation aircraft, fighter jets as well. I will say fighter jets, FSRealistic Plus is really nice for it. We can jump into one of the included ones in the simulator for sure. We'll have a little go. It's not something I usually fly, but I'll get my Xbox controller out. FS 2024 looks so good. Some places I've seen the sim look identical, but yeah. Yeah. Aerodessa, I reckon Brian's is over 500 gigs. Yeah, mate, you are correct, but you're still a bit off. You're still a bit off. It's shockingly too big. I think while I'm doing this investigation, I'm gonna have to delete some things. I'm gonna have to do a bit of optimization, because while I'm doing it, I've got a chance to do it. You know what I mean? Belito, yours is 300 gigs. Good evening, pilots. Good to see you. Good to see you. 105 gig for me. Okay, perfect. Someone, I want you to guess what mine is. I want you to guess. It contains 31,000 folders and 629,000 files. But yeah, FSRealistic Plus, I think I haven't tried it in airliners, so this is going to be a pure guess. For me, it's landings and takeoffs for me in airliners. While you're cruising, maybe a bit of turbulence. Yeah, it might be a bit better. I think for me, where it starts getting really like immersive and effective is probably going to be your helicopters, your fighter jets, and your general aviation aircraft. 750, you're getting there, mate. Yeah. And it's probably the reason why my sim runs like crap as well. I'm shocked. But again, FSRealistic Plus is really good. If you've got Chase Plane, you've got FSRealistic Pro, your £5 upgrade fee, leave that totally up to you. Yeah, with the combination of both apps. But if you haven't got Chase Plane, I would stick with Pro. Honestly, I would honestly just stick with Pro. Also, the pilot doesn't. The cinematics are nice. They really are. You know, just for the click and. Really, really nice. But again, that's chase plane, you know. But yeah, massive thank you to everyone that's watching now, getting involved in the chat, and obviously everyone who's rewatching the stream. If you have any questions for me, let me know, but I've not been using this for a long time. I would say this was more of a sort of, not a first look, but an impressions video. Any chance to keep your controls after installing? Bought them and not enough patience to. Exactly. This is the biggest thing for me with chase plane. I absolutely love it, but it basically unbinds every camera binding that you've got. I haven't found a good way, basically. I would have liked to have some kind of thing where it copied the controllers over, or give you an option to say, you know, don't mess with me camera things, because even when you disable chase plane, some bindings have still not carried on, which is a pain in the ass. But yeah, I totally get that. My controllers, my actual controllers to control any kind of the aircraft were fine, if I'm going to be honest with you. It was just mostly camera, but it's still a massive thing to go back in and do all your camera settings again. Hi mate, how are you? I'm good. I'm good. I'm enjoying honestly, I'm enjoying chase plane more than FSRealistic Plus at the minute. Dreamfall Creations just released a Bell 246 X-Wing. Off to go fly it. See you next time. Yeah, absolutely, mate. Absolutely. You go and have fun. I wish I could get into helicopters. I just can't. What am I doing here? There we go. But indeed, motion movements are, yes. I was thinking to export CCA set and try to import them after installing these add-ons. Yes, that could work. It could work. Absolutely. I just think FSRealistic Plus isn't extensive enough. I don't know what else I expected, to be honest. Let's just have a look, guys, because I am curious to see just. I am curious to see what. Exactly. We are getting. I've linked chase plane, obviously Parallel 42's website in the stream description, or obviously the video description if you're rewatching it. And obviously I've linked FSRealistic Plus, which you can get over at SimMarket. Massive thank you to SimMarket. It says it's VR support, not at this time. So yeah, that was another thing. Obviously, FSRealistic Pro was that's one thing I completely missed out. Was FSRealistic Pro is an external program. What's it doing here? It's an external program, so it runs obviously away from the sim. The 2024 native version is integrated into the toolbar, which is a nice touch, a lot better than it being an external program for sure. Full 3D spatial audio for the sounds. Again, I am not overly fussed with the sounds. I think some sounds are a bit more, I don't know, extravagant. That's me. A bit more. Is it extravagant? I don't know. Is they're not. Just a bit more over the top than I anticipated. FSRealistic Pro will be amazing as a standalone product. I know many friends not buying it because it depends on. This is what I was saying. So there's a few things to consider if you want to buy this. Is that if you don't have chase plane and you don't want chase plane, then you need it. I don't know if I'll ever be fussed to buy an airport if I needed another airport to make it work, or I don't know, another aircraft to make another aircraft work. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's a weird one for me. But I've heard that too. I've seen a lot of people say chase plane's fantastic, but I don't need it, so I can't go and buy FSRealistic. I can't get FSRealistic Plus. I can't upgrade to it. And even if I don't use chase plane, I've still got to go and buy it. That's the worst part. I've still got to go and buy chase plane. Still got to pay £27 for chase plane just because I want FSRealistic Plus. Yeah. It annoys me. It annoys me a bit. But it is what it is. What can we do? This is why I'm saying there's so many different things involved with my recommendations to buy it. If you've got chase plane and you've got Pro and you know you want to, it's £5. Yeah, go ahead. You know, for the native, obviously the in-game panel and stuff like that. Yeah. You can also add your own custom sounds as well. Sorry, that was another big thing. See, the thing is, on the website it says chase plane support, and it's like, it's not really chase plane support. You need chase plane. It's not like it works. It's not like it's just a case of, oh, if you've got chase plane installed, guys, it works seamlessly with it. It's no, you have to have chase plane installed for it to work. Do you know? But yeah, James, good to see it. It's based on chase plane physics. Yeah. But then FSRealistic Pro had all these camera effects in them, didn't they already? As far as I'm aware, it already had all the camera shaking and sound, so it was already they already had their own base program. So I could be just very in denial about it, why they needed to use chase plane. But yeah, I understand that obviously it's using chase plane's camera, because we can see that right now is if we, I don't know, what can we do here? Let's. Should we add a bit of, where are we? About 2,000 feet. Should we add a bit of? Where's the wind? Am I doing this wrong? Sorry, I was too high. That was 20,000. So we got the camera motion going on. If we hold this now, you'll see that it stops. I've disabled chase plane. And then re-enable it, you'll see it. Again, disable, you'll see the camera stop moving. I'm not going to lie, the camera motion and the way everything is synced up and the sounds and stuff, it is great. I fully get that. I really do. But yeah, I never owned Pro version. Yeah, I've still got Pro on my computer. I'm pretty certain that it had all the camera shake effects in. Yeah, it did. So I don't quite understand the need for chase plane. Not that I'm saying chase plane is bad. It's fantastic. I just don't get why RK apps needed chase plane to do it. Whether it was a case of they couldn't get the camera effects in 2024 to, oh no, they could, because FSRealistic Pro works with 2024, so it's not so much that the camera effects weren't working. Do you know what I mean? I was thinking, okay, apps, why not standalone plus? Yeah, the answer was if we'll allow it, we consider standalone idea for future. I was under the impression that FSRealistic Pro worked with, I'm pretty certain FSRealistic Pro works with 2024. I had it working and it still gives us camera effects. I'd like to know personally why. Hopefully someone from the team or chase plane can get involved at some point along the line. Why? I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm not questioning why did they do it. I want to know what was the reasoning behind. Yeah, FSRealistic Pro does work with 2024 and 20. Note, there are two types of FSRealistic, Pro and Plus. Go with FSRealistic Pro in case you don't have chase plane. Go with FSRealistic Plus in case you have chase plane. Okay, so stating it like that, I get what they mean. Maybe some things that they've done for FSRealistic Plus just wouldn't work in 2024, and they decided, you know, they were speaking with Parallel 42, and Parallel 42 said, you know, we're able to do that, or we've been able to do it, and RK can't do it. I don't know. But both FSRealistics work on 2024. Maybe you can't add custom sounds to 2024 Pro. I mean, sorry, you can't. I mean, maybe they couldn't make the Plus for 2024 standalone because you wouldn't have been able to do your own sounds and stuff like that. So yeah, we could look at it that way. It also says on Pro's website, growing list of 40 effects. I'm pretty certain there is a hell of a lot more on FSRealistic Plus. Let's have a little look. Yeah, these guys. In fact, you guys might not have been hearing the sounds. I'm not too sure. Because on the download, the latest download for FSRealistic Plus, it actually says FSRealistic Plus is now visible in OBS as an application audio sound source. Interesting. I can't see that though. Interesting. But yeah, let's have a little look because I want to see FSRealistic Plus. Obviously, you can download a trial as well. There's a trial on the RK website. Yeah, custom sounds, that'll be a nice thing to do. People start being weird and putting some random sounds for aircraft, you know, engine noise and stuff like that. But it doesn't say how many effects are on the Plus version. Where have I come to here? Have I come back to no, that's not. It looks like it though. But yeah, obviously a couple of questions. Oh, there's Heathrow. That should be the. I've disabled the normal Heathrow, the handcrafted version, so that'll just be a lovely auto-gen Heathrow. Terrible. Nothing's in here because obviously everything's out of me my community folder, which by the way guys, we still need some guesses on, don't we? Anyone guessed how big my community folder is? I've had a couple of you guys say Aero Dessa, you've got 220, Belito, yours is 300, RMS Titanic, yours is 105. Very, very liberal with that, which I'd love to see. I wish mine was that. I'm hoping to get mine down under 500 gigabytes after doing this little bit of searching for this rogue app, which seems to be absolutely messing up my my sim at the minute. Really would like to know what it is. But yeah, my screen isn't working because I haven't got the again, nothing in my community folder. I think I've got an airport, a couple of aircraft, and obviously chase plane and FSRealistic Plus. Like I said, guys, if any questions about FSRealistic Plus in the chat or the comments, I'll obviously try my best to get back to you, or at least try and find the answer out. I'm still having a little play around with this. Admittedly, I prefer chase plane over FSRealistic Plus. The sounds are great. They do add a lot to the flying experience. There's just some sounds I'm not too fussed on, you know. They're not really. Again, they're a lot better than your standard sounds, definitely. But I just, yeah, I can't. I like the movements over the sounds. That's what I'm trying to say. I like the movements over the sounds. I think that Whoop. I'm still getting used to the trim on this Baron as well. Steve, mine is 500. I'm guessing yours is just under 1 terabyte. You're absolutely spot on, mate. But can you get it in a ballpark for me? Get it into the ballpark. But yeah, FSRealistic Plus, I prefer the movements which are done by Chase Planes. So sounds, some of them are fantastic. Some of them are just not, I don't know, not synced up and as not so much well done, but just maybe a bit overkill. Like when taken off, I think it's a bit, some of the sounds are a bit too much. Not too sure what that airport was before. I think it wasn't Elstree. There it is there. But I do need to optimize the community folder because the sim does perform a hell of a lot better when the community folder is empty. I can't have the community folder empty, but yeah, it does. It's so much smoother. So I think I'm gonna just go in there in the community folder, guys, and I'm gonna see what I really must keep. We're probably way too high. This is a very narrow strip as well. 850 to 900. No, you've dropped a bit now, mate. Bit bigger than that. That was quite smooth. That was quite smooth. 675. Nearly. It's 966. Why am I using the things again? The ditch. There's a ditch. I don't even know if this is the right taxiway. I recognise this airfield. I'm not too sure. This is definitely not the way it should be going, by the way, guys. I'm going to take off again anyway. Here you go. You're getting FSRealistic Plus in the best way here. smooth. It was a nice landing, wasn't it? It was a nice landing, I must admit. The approach was a bit iffy, but I'm still getting used to having an actual yoke, throttles. It's so much nicer. Like, it's so much nicer than just sitting there using the game controller. Let's put the brakes on. Yeah, so my community folder is 966 gigabytes, and I need to get that down. I need to find the culprit for the crashing. Definitely, that's a must. But I still don't quite get it. James, you might need to get up on this one. I don't know if you saw my post, or at least the start of the stream, mate. But I put my pedals in yesterday. Did a flight with the Baron, absolutely fine. Changed to a different aircraft, which I can't mention. I always feel great saying this, by the way, but yeah, I can't mention what it is. You'll find out very, very soon, though. And it loaded in the air, ready to fly. As soon as I pressed ready to fly, the whole screen went black. It then took about 5 minutes for it to load. It loaded in the sounds first, then it loaded in the picture, which was like a slideshow. It was like an oil painting. It was just 8 FPS. So I thought, you know what, let's get it restarted. Restarted the sim, still the same. Messed about, rolled back my drivers, my NVIDIA drivers, because I heard they might be an issue, which at first it was looking promising. I pressed ready to fly. It let me walk on the ground in avatar mode, no problem. Then I entered the aircraft. That was when it started doing it. So the difference there was I actually started it in the air originally. When I went back into after the NVIDIA driver update, the NVIDIA driver update didn't improve anything. It just looked like it did because I was sat in the aircraft. So whatever this add-on is something to do with sitting in the cockpit. It's something to do with the cockpit. An aircraft. It's not the Baron. It's not the other aircraft that I can't mention, because I've got them both now and they're working fine. And then I obviously cleared out my community folder and everything started working. So yeah, I've got to find a little rogue community app. But I just don't get why it was... It's not like I'd turn the sim off and then back on again. It was going from flying the Baron, then to another aircraft. That's when it kicked off. And it's not this other aircraft because I've used it this morning with just, you know, with the way I've fixed it. So yeah, make of that what you will, but it's definitely something in the community folder. I just don't understand why it suddenly happened after changing the flight. It's not like I turned the sim on and it was happening, because obviously in between having the sim on I can install things or get rid of things and stuff, and I'll completely forget what it was by the time I've loaded in. Guessing the it could be something else though. You know, I've done quite a fair few aircraft trailers, haven't I? So it could be the 757, could be the Rafale. Could be something else entirely that I've never actually done before. We'll see. We'll see. It could be. We'll see. Hopefully not too long to go. But yeah, like I've said a few times actually. Admittedly, I actually prefer chase plane. Mainly because of the camera movements. I think the camera movements are done really, really nicely. Some of them, I think the transitions in some of them are a bit weird. I think they suddenly cut off abruptly. But things can be improved. Things can be just because it just arrived on. That's why. What? It did what? It did what? Wait, what? It did what? Did it now? Whereabouts? Oh, send me the link. Send me the link. Send me the link, please. It could be the Rafale. I'm not saying which one it is. Honestly, it could be something else. I am working on a few aircraft videos at the minute. check if I've got any 22. It could very well. It could. You know what? It could be a livery. It could be a livery. But I think there's a way of meticulously. So there's an app you can get. Obviously, I need to have a look at add-on linker because everyone uses that and I just don't for some reason. But there's an app that actually scans your community folder and see if there's any issues with certain files that makes it work. That could be a thing, but I'm not going to bother. The fact that I've got nearly 1 terabyte of files in my community folder, I think I'm going to have to do a 1-by-1 job. I'm going to have to go through it from the top, say what I don't need, delete them, get it sorted. I can always download them again, and then just put in what I need, and basically start the sim every so often to see what happens, not start the sim every time I delete one and update it, because that would be silly, because the amount of times I started the sim last night was stupid. Let's take off again, guys, and do a bit more flying. Actually, do you know what? We won't do that one again. We'll go in something else. We'll go in a fighter jet just so you guys can see it. And with that being the case, I'm putting you on that screen because I don't want you to see said aircraft. That'll take forever. It will take forever, Steve. It will, mate. But the fact that I've actually got to go through it and optimize the folder, like I say, it's not a shocking statement, but the sim is performing super nicely at the minute. I believe this airport has got one of the biggest runways, or at least one of the biggest runways in the UK, or at least, I don't know how true that is, but this one would be used for shuttle emergency landings, if I'm not too mistaken, but I could completely be wrong there. But yeah, let's... you can't see it, sorry guys, I've put it on the screen, sorry. I'll flick it back on just for a second. This one here. I don't know. Someone told me that. I'm not too sure who it was. I'm not even going to say that because I'll sound silly if I say it. There I am. For the Rafale, please send me the link for the on the aviation, the Dassault aviation, because I want to see where it is. I'm on the Dassault Aviation. Oh no, that's the systems. That's the wrong website. Maybe it's the... Ah, okay. Oh, okay. The coming soon page? Do you mean the actual Dassault Aviation, the store it's called? Oh, there's my trailers for the Jaguar. The Rafale, yeah, coming soon. If that's only just appeared, then it's not far off then. Not far off, is it? Right, okay, let's get into a fighter jet, because I haven't actually been in a fighter jet to have a look at FSRealistic Plus. Ooh, the Boom Supersonic. No, we're not going to bother. We'll go into a Hornet. Now, I don't fly fighter jets, so I'm going to use my gamepad for this one. Just because I think I don't want to fly it with the yoke. I don't want to fly it with the yoke. That's good to see, though. Really, really nice to see. Did they keep my logo in at the end? They didn't, did they? Did they crop it? Is my little thing at the start? Oh no. Oh, that's not nice. I don't like that. I'm gonna have a word with Az or Polly. Or did I forget about that? I didn't forget, did I? Sorry guys, I'm having a bit of a freak out. I do apologize. Bear with me. Did they actually cut my name out? Sorry guys. Yeah, they did. Oh no, they didn't. They didn't. They didn't. They didn't. We now, yeah. So yeah, Heat Blair are doing it for DCS. Yeah, I don't follow DCS. We're gonna do the F18 yet because the boom sounds were broken last time. I had a look at it, and I haven't been in it since. Plus, it's it's not really a dead agile, is it? The boom supersonics. It's nice though. I've got it there. Look, I won the competition. Big boom supersonic model there. And me, Dassault Raphael. You can't see it though. It's the yellow one on the end, and I've got some of me Gemini Jets models there as well. But I need more. I definitely need more. Let's have a little look and see what the. Is that a... Intense camera vibration shake. It's shaking a bit. Mind you, there's no afterburners on, is there? Still doing it. It's a bit loud. the camera turns with it. I mean, I don't fly fighter jets much, so. Flyby mode's great. Oh yeah, Steve, I think that this is the biggest part for me is the head movements. Yeah, the head movements for me. Sorry, I've changed it because of the sounds. I was learning the Mach loop recently. I think if you go over this ridge and no, I've got it. I've lost it. Let me get back over here. I think it's down there. No. Actually, to be very, very honest, I think we were a lot further away than I thought. Yeah, we are. We're too far. It's over here. Yeah, the head movements are, for me, the biggest part of chase plane, but obviously FSRealistic Plus. But obviously, I'm giving credit to chase plane, of course. Head movements in the fighter jets is a hell of a lot nicer, you know. I like how they turn. I think this is it. There was actually a pair of Canadian F-18s through the Mach loop a few weeks ago. I think it's this way. Is it this way? Yeah. Handling that like a champ, this guy. Probably a bit too fast going through there. You can refine it all to your own preferences. Yeah, I know, yeah. As we saw in the FSRealistic Plus settings, you can toggle a lot. You know, you can really make your own profiles on there and get really creative with it if you want to make things a bit more, I don't know, a bit more intense. But most aircraft, let's have a little look and see if there's any for the F-18. No shared profiles just yet for the F-18. Also, that this isn't the proper way either. Wales looks amazing in the sim. It really does. But yeah, obviously, yeah, James, I could go into the FSRealistic Plus settings and fiddle about with all the head movements, and you could spend a long time within FSRealistic Plus doing all that. You could spend an awful amount of time just messing with absolutely everything. The same can be said with chase plane as well. Chase plane, there's so much you can do with cameras. For example, if you go into let's say pilot, this is the default view for the F-18. I can go into adjust. I can do this. I like to be a bit more, sometimes I like to see sort of, you know, the front of the plane and not too low down, and then I can just save that then, and then it's saved. That's how I think chase plane, even though in experimental mode, now that I've got, you know, for example, if I move myself around now with the camera controls and then press the reset camera, it's going to take me to the position I've just assigned, which is great. You've got all these as well. I mean, yeah, you can include it in cinematic sequences as well if you like, you know, which is great. And yet, although I won't be using cinematic mode for my videos, or at least I don't plan to, it's lovely. It's very smooth. It's very well done. Look at that. Again, the F-18 isn't a plane that I fly. Bit of a fly past there. I really, really hope we get to see the pilots, the avatars, implemented soon. I don't know whether that's a chase plane thing or an FSRealistic Plus thing. I'm assuming it's chase plane. Especially because obviously cinematic mode takes you, you know, close to the plane and you can... You know, you can see it. Lovely. I've got a clue why he's flying sideways. Is he a bit of a wind? Oh. Again, and you know, these can all be, you know, set to a button, set to a... You could probably set it to a Stream Deck as well, I'd imagine. Nice. Obviously now you can see that some things are being turned off because it does by default know. Sorry, it does by default know that it's a fighter jet, so it's not going to turn some stuff on. Oh, right, okay. I mean, it's not the nicest thing to watch, is it? I do like it. Is it any good in VR? I don't think it works in VR. I've not tried it, but it does say on their website it doesn't work in VR. VR is not supported at this time, so it's saying that it's not. It's saying it's not supported at this time, so it might be something that they are looking at implementing at some point. But admittedly, I didn't try Realistic Pro in VR. In my opinion, I think settings would need to be really dialed in for VR to work, because I think it would make even me feel sick. And I feel like I'm pretty immune to VR. I've been doing VR since around 2016, 2017. I'm talking Oculus Rift DK2 consumer version as well, and then the HTC Vive, all the way up into obviously the Crystal Super, the Pimax Crystal Super. So I think even me, I think I would struggle with this in VR. But it says at this time, so it might be something that they are looking at doing, which would be nice. I will be ending the stream very, very shortly, guys. I know it's been a bit sort of, not up and down, it's just, I guess sort of reviews like this for these particular things like tools and utilities, they are a bit more free and easy. I think they're just showing every bit as much as I can off. I think these type of things are probably better for on-demand videos, so you can, things are sort of regimented and scripted down. With that said, airport reviews are something I do a lot of live, and they work really well because they turn out more to be tours of the airport and scenery. So what we're going to try and do is, I don't fly fighter jets at all. But we are going to try and land at RAF Valley, which is where we are heading off to now. But yes, guys, if you have enjoyed the stream... What? Did I forget to finish my sentence? Is that what you're saying, Kenobi? Yeah, we're going to land at RAF Valley. Sorry, I'm getting distracted by things, that's all. What did I say, Kenobi? Did I say something and then just completely finish it? Yeah, we're going to land up RAF Valley. I don't fly fighter jets, so it's probably not going to be the best landing, but I'd like to see what it looks like to land. The reason why we're an external view is because the sound inside the cockpit is ridiculous. No, I don't really fly F-18. I don't fly fighter jets in the sim. It's not something I do. If I do videos for them, again, going back to sort of the Azar Poly Jaguar and the Rafale, obviously, I make exceptions. But it's not something that I fly regularly. In the sim, it's not my cup of tea. It's just not my thing. There's obviously a lot of people that do fly jets, and although it's not DCS level of complexity, it's they're still good. They're getting there. There's quite a lot of really nice jets coming out with a lot of features, especially on 2024. think we're just over Valley now. But you have enjoyed it, please let if you have enjoyed it, please leave a like, please share, please let me know if you are rewatching the stream, your thoughts on FSRealistic Plus and Chase Plane, and what you think about it. On Sunday I've got a really fun one for you guys. It's an older one from Parallel 42, but I've only just got it myself. We're having a look at the camp out utility, because I really like the look of it. So yeah, we're gonna go and do some more flying. We're gonna take some really nice low and slow planes, and we're gonna do some camping. And I'm gonna show you all the stuff that Parallel 42's camp house has got. I'm using the 2024 version as well, guys. So yeah, I know that's an older add-on. It's new to me. I purchased it on Parallel 42. It wasn't sent to me, same as Chase Plane. Chase Plane and Camp Out were bought with my my own hard-earned money. And yeah, we're gonna take a look. We're gonna do a bit of flying around places and do a bit of virtual camping. That's on Sunday at 7:30 guys, so don't forget. Kenobi, I'm struggling with Chase Plane, can't use my replay tool, so need to install ones. You don't need to, mate, you can just disable Chase Plane. The replay tool works, because I've been using the replay tool recently. It is great. Chase Plane's fantastic. I prefer Chase Plane over FSRealistic Plus. Where's this airport? I've completely lost it. Oh no, I've got it. It's over there. But yet I found that the replay tool still works. You just disable Chase Plane. Yeah, I've used flight control replay. I don't know about Sky Dolly. That might not work. You disable, enable it on the fly, and it works. Yeah. You just hold the little plane at the top like that, and it disables it. You have to sort of when you disable it, enable it through the toolbar. You have to you have to change view. You just like go outside and come back in again. But yeah, it works. Let's see if we can actually land this, guys. As I say, this is not what I fly, so. But yeah, I've been definitely using the replay tool recently. Now, I'm not using my yoke or throttle here, guys, because I honestly couldn't bring myself to use a yoke. It's a bit wobbly, like. Oh, where are we going here? It's a great landing, that. It's a great landing. I just can't use me rudder to turn for some reason. Is it working on my actual rudders? It's not working on my actual rudders though, that's the thing. There's obviously a different way to steer the fighter jets and I don't know how to do it. There you go guys, we landed. We're just taking it off-road, that's all. I don't know why. And I can't use this. I can't use the state. I've got a nose wheel steering set up as well, and that wouldn't work either. So I'm not too sure what was going on, but it landed. Nose wheel steering mode. I did. I tried. It just didn't. It's not working. For some reason. I'm not too sure why. No. Maybe I needed it. Maybe I've just not enabled it or something. But as I say, you saw the effects of FSRealistic Plus though, which was pretty cool. Yeah, guys, I don't know why I'm apologising. I probably didn't show it off as much as I'd liked or as I hoped. I'll be honest, I'm still really anticipating the community folder optimization that I'm going to be doing for the next 2-3 days. Nearly 1 terabyte of files. I need to dig out something that is making my sim not work for some reason. It is working now because obviously I've got the bare minimum inside my community folder, so that's all good. But if you are rewatching this, guys, let me know in the comments some questions and stuff. I'll try and answer them, but this was kind of really honestly my first impressions of FSRealistic Plus. Should you buy it outright? You've got to ask yourself whether you want to buy Chase Plane. If you don't have Chase Plane and it's something you don't need, then honestly, if you want it, get FSRealistic. I don't think it's more of a case of wanting it. I think if you want FSRealistic, as in the package, the actions that it does, obviously in the Pro version you're not going to get as much, but the Pro version standalone, it's an external program. You don't need anything with it. Currently it looks like it's around the same price as Plus as well. So what I would say is get Plus if you've got Chase Plane. Get Pro if you don't want Chase Plane and you don't, because I wouldn't go and buy Chase Plane for £27 if you don't need it and you're not going to use it. Go and buy FSRealistic Pro instead, and obviously save your money. That's my honest opinion with it. Should you upgrade from Pro to Plus? Well, that's another big question for me, because with Chase Plane's added functionality, and obviously the movements with Plus are being powered by Chase Plane, the upgrade is tempting, but you still won't go wrong with the Pro version, in my opinion. There's a few things, guys. There's a few, because with it needing that extra program, FSRealistic Plus, it can be an expensive proposition, can't it? It can be an expensive add-on to then go and buy. Do I recommend chase plane? Yes, absolutely. I think if once you've fiddled about with it for a bit, you can get some really nice presets going and stuff like that. But just be aware that for me, and I think a few of you have mentioned, it will wipe your camera settings completely. When I'm doing my cinematic videos, which I've been doing recently, I've just been disabling chase plane and using the standard drone camera, because right now, like I said before, and again, if people have you know, have lasted in the stream, or if they've or if you re-watch until the end of the stream, I can't get my drone camera to work with chase plane, because right now I can only do this. I can't go forward and back. I can't manipulate the camera forward and back because there's no setting to do it. The only setting to move forward and backwards and side to side is actually in the move laterally, move forward and back, move up and down. They're all there, but the move laterally, these two here move laterally and move forward and backwards. They're for the cockpit. So if I do that setting there, you can see that's what I'm doing. It doesn't work for the drone camera. So if anyone knows how to make the drone camera work in chase plane, please let me know, because I haven't got a clue. That's a very good question, Captain Kenobi. Very, very good question, because I have actually dug out my Tobii eye tracker recently. I just can't get Tobii eye tracker to be in a nice enough sensitivity for me. It's either I slouch too far back and it completely misses me, or it's just not high enough. Even when I set it up and calibrate it, and it's all fine inside the sim, I just feel like it's a bit too loose sometimes. And if I change the settings, it's too stiff. Yeah. I don't think of it. It doesn't alleviate the need for the eye tracker, because obviously the eye tracker you're going to be able to, without, obviously we're not going into VR. You've got that freedom of movement like VR for sure with a eye tracker of any kind, and you can look down at your instruments. It's great if you haven't got VR. Obviously, VR, being able to have the VR headset, no matter how big or small they are, they still get quite warm, don't they? And they still can get a bit just as uncomfortable. They're getting lighter and lighter with obviously the Pimax Stream Air, for example, and some of the other ones like the Mechanics and what have you. But big screen beyond. But you're still wearing something on your eyes, you know, for an extended period of time. It definitely, your statement, mate, it does reduce the need for an eye tracker, but you're not going to be able to just sort of look around, you know what I mean? It really adds the immersion to flights, no matter what you're flying. It's nice, but like I've said a few times through this, I really prefer chase plane over FSRealistic Plus. I think for me, going into this, I was going to buy chase plane anyway. I'd buy that. Then with the knowledge that I've got now, maybe I should have just kept to, obviously, I will say thank you to SimMarket for sending me FSRealistic Plus, but regardless of that, I'd probably then say to someone, go and buy FSRealistic Pro just for the external program. No, if you've got chase plane, buy FSRealistic Plus, not Pro. Buy FSRealistic Pro if you don't want chase plane, because you don't need it. Ignore me. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna go now, and I'm also gonna have a look at more options with a tablet. Again, in the comments, guys, let me know anyone using a tablet for flight simming and how do you use it. I would have liked to have been able to take my PC display and put it on this, but I'm having trouble with this because the Samsung thing doesn't have it on this particular tab at the second screen mode. Space Desk just doesn't work, and some of the other things just don't work. Air Manager is very expensive, so it might be just a move and map that I have on this. But yeah. I'll join you on Discord and set drone cam. Oh, okay. Well, I'll be ending the stream now, mate. But I don't know if there's a way you can let me know without being on the sim, or we can do it another time, mate. I do have to scoot now. But on definitely another time we can join up on Discord, or just if you can send me some kind of guide of some kind. I don't know. But yeah, I am making a DAW for it now because yeah, I need to send a developer their last draft of their video to see if they like it, and hopefully we can share that with you very soon. Next week should be another freeware video. Next Wednesday potentially. We're looking at bush strips. It's too late here. Yeah, another day. Yeah, definitely, mate. Definitely. I need help with it because it just doesn't seem to work. I don't know how to make it go forward and back. Another freeware video. I think it's next Wednesday or the Wednesday after. It's going to be some freeware bush airstrips to have a look at. And 2 weeks later, you're going to have another freeware episode looking at some more airports. And then the most up-to-date episode 5 is going to be 2 weeks after that, looking at more bush strips. I am working on episode 6, 7, and 8 at the minute. And some other things for you guys. Stuff coming in March. That's quite big for the channel. A video coming very soon, which I think a lot of people will enjoy because it's not my normal cinematic video. It's something a bit different. So, yeah. Thanks, everyone. And I really enjoyed this. I will see you on Sunday because we're going to dive into another Parallel 42 add-on called Camp Out, which is an older one, but it's the 2024 version. And I really love it, especially with general aviation flying, starting to do a bit of more bush air flying over in the USA. And yeah, I'm looking forward to that. So yeah, cheers guys. See you again soon and have a good start to the weekend, but I'll see you on Sunday.